Thumbs up. I'm just waiting for your confirmation. Can someone thumbs up, please? Hi. Okay. So here we go. Uh, Today I'm going to talk to you about how can a class 10 or an O-level student get direct admission to some of the top universities in the world in New Zealand. I'll talk about the universities. I'll talk about the eligibility, the process, and of course the benefits. And finally, I'll also be able to talk to you about, or perhaps answer some of your questions if you would like to uh, put your questions in the comment box. So to start with, this is an exclusive program that belongs to three of some of the best universities in the world in New Zealand, and some of the top two universities, including the top two universities in New Zealand. They are the University of Auckland, which is ranked amongst the top 100 universities in the world. We have AUT University, which is one of the top youngest universities, and of course, the second top university in New Zealand. Again, in the very top rankings of universities around the world. And we also have one of the oldest traditional universities, which is University of Victoria in Wellington. So these three great universities offer direct access to their undergraduate degrees to high-performing high school graduates or secondary graduates, not senior secondary, secondary graduates, students who would have completed 10 years of schooling in any board or any system around the world, including CBSC, ICSC, Cambridge O levels, you name it, any system around the world. And so the 10-year school education is one of the primary prerequisites for this wonderful program. The second prerequisite is that students should have scored considerably very high grades in their school years, in the final exams, that is in the year 10 exams. In countries like India, you would have a board exam. So effectively, if you get more than 80% marks in your board exam, then you are considered to be eligible for this program to start with. So you meet the initial eligibility to get into this program. Now, once you have met these two prerequisites, that is, you have completed 10 years of schooling and you have scored 80% marks or more in your schooling, in your final exams, then you are eligible. The second step would be to prepare for an international admission test. It's not an entrance exam, it's an admission test. The difference is that in an admission test, any student who meets the prerequisite, the minimum requirement, will become successful. Unlike in an entrance exam where out of the students who write the exams, only certain students based on the ranking would be selected. Here, there is no ranking. You're not competing with others. You're just making sure that as a student, you are well versed in 4 subjects, namely mathematics, chemistry, physics, and English. These are the 4 critical subjects, and the admission test is entirely based on class 10 or O-level curriculum. So the rigor, the difficulty level, everything depends on the O-level mathematics, physics, chemistry, and English. Now, what is interesting about this admission test is, one, there is a preparatory program that is offered by iquery, and it is for a fortnight. So over a fortnight, expert teachers, in the areas of mathematics, physics, chemistry, and English would help you understand how the test works, because you've already studied for 10 years, so you already know English, you already know mathematics, you already have your chemistry and physics. So what this preparatory program will do is to help you understand how the test works. And the test is perhaps the simplest test you can come across, because this is based on MCQ or multiple choice questions. So you don't have to do the long problems, sums, equations, and things like that. You just have to answer questions in a multiple choice test format. However, it is timed, it is online. So therefore, you need to know the format of the test. You also need to have some experience. So what we also have incorporated is you have 3 pre-admission test or mock exams for all the 4 subjects: mathematics, physics, chemistry, and English. Yeah, now you would remember the 4 subjects. So you have a preparatory program, which will finish off with a practice test online. So you will know how to log in, how to time your test, how you will be timed, and how you'll be proctored during your exam. And of course, you'll be taking this exam from the comforts of your home, or it could be done at a common place if there are sufficient number of students. But certainly you can do this test sitting at home. Now, once the test is completed, what happens next? Of course, you will get your results. If you score 85% or more in this admission test, University of Auckland, which is one of the top universities in the world, will give you a guaranteed admission to their bachelor degree, provided you complete the foundation program. Now, the foundation program is the program equivalent to your year 11 and 12. Yes. And now I know what you're thinking. Shouldn't I be doing 11th and 12th? No, you don't have to do 11th and 12th. Instead of doing your senior secondary year 11 and 12, or plus 2 as you call, or intermediate, or pre-university course, as your case may be, you don't have to do that. Instead, you will go to the university, and yes, you will go to New Zealand. You will go to the university of your choice, whether it is Auckland University or AUT University, Auckland University of Technology, or Victoria University in Wellington, and you will start your 6-month foundation program, which is a fast track program. Now, 6-month program actually cuts down the 1 year, foundation program. The normal program takes 1 year, but because you have scored 80% in your class 10 board exams, and because you have scored more than 85% in your admission test, you are deemed to be capable of the rigor of a fast track 6-month foundation program, which effectively means that you will commence your undergraduate degree. Listen to this carefully, please. If you're a class 10 student today, looking forward to your final exams in the next couple of weeks, couple of months, you will be commencing your degree along with your super seniors who are in year 12 right now. Yes. So think about a year 12 student in your school today, a senior secondary student who is graduating, who's completing their high school this year. You will commence the degree along with the same student, which means you're going to save 2 long years. Absolutely right. And for that, 3 criteria. 1, you should have completed your class 10 with 80% marks, and you should have completed the admission test with more than 85% marks. And then finally, you have to complete the 6-month foundation program. So if you meet these 3 milestones in February 2025, that's next year, by now, you'll be getting ready to start your bachelor's degree. And the next question, what can you study? Well, you could study any bachelor's program offered by any of these 3 universities to international students. It could be engineering, technology, business, arts, education, law, medicine, veterinary science, you name it, you can study anything you want to study. Now, this is where iQuery once again comes in to help each one of you to decide what you should study, because you should study something that will lead to your long-term professional goals. And iQuery is a very specialized business that caters to your long-term needs. We're not concerned about your immediate admission goals, because admissions are important in the long-term context of what you want to do in terms of your employment, future career, and future destinations of your work. So from that point of view, if you're seeking international career, if you're seeking to work in countries like Australia, New Zealand, Canada, UK, USA, or any other developed country in the world, in other words, if you're seeking international employment and career, then you must plan sufficiently well and sufficiently in advance. So if you choose to go for this foundation program to the top universities in New Zealand, before you take your admission test, we will assist you in planning your career. Now, the career could include the field of study you want to get into, the type of jobs you want to get into, and of course, the jobs or the skills and qualification that will give you that will give you a job as soon as you finish your graduation. So effectively, you'd be looking at working in New Zealand for at least 3 years after you graduate. Yeah, you heard me right. At least 3 years, because if your bachelor's program is of 3-year duration, you will get a 3-year post-study work visa. So yes, you can work for 3 more years. And if your graduation is a 4-year program, like engineering, for example, your post-study work visa will be 4-year long. So 6 months of foundation program, 4 years of engineering, and 4 years of work. I think 8.5 years is more than sufficient for you to establish yourself in a field that you really love to work for the rest of your life. It will allow you to get into some of the best international jobs available in your domain, whether it is engineering, technology, business, arts, or teaching, or law, for that matter. Now, what other things we do in this context is that, well, we will also provide you a long-term assistance of a certified, trained, qualified, reliable migration advisor. Now, why would this migration advisor be important for you? First of all, they are important to confirm that your choice of study can actually lead to potential migration opportunities in New Zealand. Secondly, they will also assist you in submitting your visa applications thoroughly, properly, so that you don't make any mistakes when you submit your visa applications. And most important, they will continue to assist you throughout your studies and on your graduation with your future visas. And they include your post-study work visa, and of course, should you wish to apply for migration, permanent residency in New Zealand, certainly our migration team will be still working with you long after you would have completed your graduation. So yes, we will introduce you to the migration consultant directly. So there are no intermediaries. You and your parents, if you're a student listening to me, your parents and yourself, and if you're a parent listening to me, you will be talking directly to a migration consultant to arrange your visa paperwork. Another interesting thing, because you will be, most of you, I'm sure, will be under 18. Under 18 is an underaged child, and we have very strict norms, legal requirements to provide education to them, especially when they come alone to New Zealand. First of all, if you plan to come alone to New Zealand as a below 18 student, you will have to stay with a New Zealand family. You will not be staying in hostels, you will not be staying in groups. You'll actually be staying with a homestay family. Homestay parents will be there to look after you. And these parents are selected, screened, and certified very, very thoroughly by the universities. The police verification would have been completed, and they are monitored. And even the home and every place that you're going to stay would be thoroughly inspected and approved. And these families are vetted families, very selected families across, the cities of New Zealand, Auckland, or Wellington, and you'll be staying with them. Now, it gets even better. So if you're a parent listening to me, and if you think that, okay, yeah, I don't want my child to stay with a family there because I still feel my child is a bit too young, yes, you have an alternate option. You could actually go with your child. Yes, if you are the mother listening to me right now, if you're the father listening to me right now, yes, you could go with your child to New Zealand and stay until your child turns 18. That will be way past the foundation program. By the time your child turns 18, they would have completed pretty much half the bachelor program if they're going for a 3-year degree. So pretty much as a parent, you can stay with your child, make sure that this child, your child actually studies well, is looked after well, eats properly, sleeps properly, studies properly, and then they move successfully from foundation program to the university degree. And halfway through the university degree, when everything is settled, when they are working already, doing part-time work, and they are thoroughly settled, you know who their friends are, the community they live in, the apartment they live in, everything. That is when you say, hey, look, now you are, big enough, so I'll go back home. And that's what, as a parent, you can do. Right. This is really a phenomenal opportunity for the parent. There are a couple of other advantages along with this. As a parent, if you reach New Zealand, you may be able to apply for work rights. You will be given not full-time, but part-time work rights when your child goes to school, which means When the child is doing the foundation program, you could be working up to 20 hours. Now, talking about work, this applies to you and your child. So if you're a student, it applies to you. Part-time work, as a parent, it applies to you as well. New Zealand allows you to work for 20 hours as a parent or as a child. A parent must get to work right after reaching New Zealand. Student can work soon after they commence the university. So during the 6-month course, they cannot work because too much of studies. They have to study everything in 6 months that they would normally study in 2 years. So no work possible when they study the foundation program. But as soon as they go to university, they can start working with your consent. The consent is essential because remember, they'll be under 18. Right. Now, how much students make, or how much can somebody make in New Zealand, or how much do you get paid? Well, New Zealand today offers the highest minimum wage in the world. For every hour of work, for any job, the minimum legal wage is $23, and it's going to go up this year again because there's an annual review of of minimum wages. So 23 New Zealand dollars is what you would earn for the minimum at the minimum, but most jobs will pay you more than that. And if you start working now, maybe 6 months down the line, you get paid more because you are more experienced, you have local experience, you know the job well, the employer knows you better. So there are many people who earn more than $25 on an average, but let's go by the minimum legal requirement of $23. You will still be making $460 a week, which can cover your living expenses, right? It's not a big promise, but it can cover living expenses. So yes, as a child, you can work. As a student, you can work. But if you are a parent who is planning to go with your child, you too can work with the work right issued to you. So yes, that can cover your living expenses. Now, of course, your next question would be, how much does it cost? Look, the university degrees will cost you the same. There is no difference in the fee. But the advantage is that you will start your engineering degree, you'll start your IT degree, you'll start your business degree 2 years earlier, which means in 2 years' time, the fee will go up naturally because of inflation, right? So you'll be actually paying less for your degree because you start 2 years early. Look at the fee. For example, what was the fee 2 years ago? It was considerably lower than what it is today. So that advantage is already there. Keep it as a bonus. But for the foundation program, it could be anywhere between $18,000 to $25,000 for the 6-month program. New Zealand dollars, not Australian, it's not US dollars, it's New Zealand dollars. Now, this $18,000 to $25,000, you can work it out in your domestic currency. So if it is in India, you're looking at about 9 lakh rupees roughly. Now, 9 lakh rupees will give your child 2 years extra in their life in terms of work. So don't compare it with the school fee that you would normally pay, but your child is getting 2 years off. It is equivalent to the +2 or pre-university course or A levels, as I said earlier. So for that, the fee would be around 18 to 25,000. But hang on, because your child has 80% marks or more, and because the child has scored 85% marks or more in the admission test, they will be eligible for a scholarship interview. Yes, you heard me right. Everyone who qualifies for the 6-month program will also qualify for a scholarship. So you don't have to pay the whole $18,000 or the $25,000, depending on which study option you go for. You can get up to $5,000 scholarships. So effectively, the course can come down to about $13,000, depending on your child's grade. So effectively, although the fee for these two programs are between $18,000 to $25,000, and you can certainly deduct the scholarship they will get for the foundation program. Now, students who perform extremely well in the foundation program will be eligible for further scholarships, right? So getting a scholarship for the foundation program is based on what they have scored in grade 10 and the admission test. Fair enough. But getting a scholarship at the university will be based on what they get in the foundation program. And the good news that we can share with you is that over the last 3 years, all our students have been the best outgoing students to study at these universities. Effectively, iquery students have got the best outgoing student scholarship. The last one was last year, that is 2023. Our student got the best outgoing student award and is currently studying with University of Auckland with a scholarship. Now, this could be your child, and this may not be your child, right? But this is the scholarship opportunity that you have. You certainly have it, but still, even if you don't get a scholarship, you still save 2 years, effectively giving you 2 years of income extra in your life. Because instead of working as an engineer, let's say when you turn 23, you could become an engineer when you turn 21, which means add the salaries that you would earn for 2 extra years, and the 2 years of seniority you will get over others when you start working. The annual income in New Zealand is somewhere between $60,000 to $80,000 minimum. That's the minimum. You can get much more if you are in IT, if you are into health professions, if you are an engineer and all. Like you could get way more than that. But going by the minimum, it is $60,000 to $80,000, and that's what you will earn in your life extra because you start your career 2 years earlier, right? So you start working 2 years earlier. So if you do the accounting, right, you have to really properly do the accounting. Then you will see that at the end of the whole process, doing your foundation program and doing your bachelor degree and working for 3 years or 4 years, your post-study work visa period, you will realize that through part-time work and through the full-time work that you have done, you would have earned back way more than what you have spent on your studies and your living expenses. If you have any clarity, if you need any clarity around this, we're more than happy to work with you to work out, a budgeting for you based on the course that you would choose, based on the field that your child wants to get into, and then we can help you do this math. But effectively, $120,000 to $160,000 that you would earn more than normal. Because if you don't go now, if you go after 12th, you may still get the same job, right? You may get 2 years later, but you would have lost the salary for 2 years. So effectively, if you do the budgeting, you will know that this is a fantastic opportunity for you to earn back everything that you have spent on your studies until that point in time. So just to sum up what I have said, this is a program offered by the top 3 universities in New Zealand, and this is meant for students who have completed their O-levels or class 10 secondary school examination in any board in the world, whether you're from Oman, whether you're from Kenya, whether you're from the UAE, from India, from Pakistan, Sri Lanka, doesn't matter. Grade O-level exams is what you should have completed. And if you have 80% marks, 80% grade in your O-level exams, and if you can score 85% or more, you will get into the 6-month program. Now, what happens if you get less than 85%? Up to 70% or between 70 and 85% in the admission test, you may have to study 3 months more. So it doesn't make much of a big difference. You may have to study 3 months more. The fee for the foundation program could be slightly higher because you have to pay for the 3-month extra study, but you still can make it to the university. Now, the best part about this program is that when you complete your admission test, when you know you are eligible, you will get 2 offer letters. One for the foundation program to say that, hey, congratulations, you've made it to the 6-month program or 9 months program, whichever the case may be. But it will also come with the university, your dream letter, the university where you want to be graduating from. So you will get an offer letter from Auckland University, Auckland University of Technology, or Victoria University of Wellington, as your choice might be. So whichever university you have chosen, you will get this offer letter for your undergraduate degree in 2025. So before you start, in other words, before you start your senior secondary, you will have an offer letter to study at the university. Now, consider this in your context, like whether you're doing your CBSE or O-levels, whatever. When you start your A-levels, how many universities will give you an offer letter to study your dream course? None. This is where the difference is. So as a parent, you can say that, yes, my child is doing the foundation program, which is equivalent to year 11 and 12, but he already has, or she already has, an offer letter to study health science, physiotherapy, psychology, social work, you name it, whatever you get to, you choose. So effectively, you'll have 2 offer letters in the month of July. So what we assure you is, if you have 80% marks or more, and if you get 85% marks or more in the admission test, or 70% or more, as a matter of fact, you will get an offer letter for the foundation program, 6 months or 9 months, and you will also guaranteed admission to the university degree that you really want to, so your dream degree. your dream university. And that's what the promise of this program is. Now, I think I have covered most of the points. It would be, what do you say? It'll be great if you can ask questions. I'll try to answer some of the questions. I certainly can see one of the questions here. We have a question here, I think from Krishna Jain. I can see. What if the child is in 12th right now? Yes, if your child is 12th right now, you don't need the foundation program. Assuming that the child will get minimum 80-85% marks, because that is a minimum requirement to apply to University of Auckland. Now, a child after year 12, if they don't score well in year 12, and if they apply to these universities, they will ask you to do the same 6-month program. Yeah, that's the best part of it. So I hope your child gets 80% or more. You should start planning for your child right now if your child is in year 12. So they go directly to the degree. So they will start in February 2025. But again, the question is, do you want to send your child with a proper plan, or do you just want to get admission, go there and figure it out, let your child fight it out? Now, why I ask you this question is, in countries like Australia, Canada, New Zealand, and any major attractions that attractions for international students, many students come here to stay longer. They don't just want to go back. I'm not just talking about the couple of years of post-study work visa, because every country offers now somewhere between 6 months to 3 to 4 years. Every country offers, because that's a carrot, right? That people say that, yeah, you can come and stay and work. It is also good because students can actually gain professional experience in their own field in the country where they graduate. And this is where overseas education should be differentiated. So coming to countries like Australia, Canada, New Zealand, are certainly a much wiser choice, because we accept the child once graduated as a capable engineer, as a capable teacher, as a capable nurse, as a capable accountant or a lawyer. So, and therefore we want them to work here, right? So that is great. But then the question about staying longer here depends on whether you meet the migration or permanent residency conditions or not. And that is where it is very, very critical for you to plan ahead to see whether you're taking on the right course, you're taking the right track or not, your child is taking the right track or not. In other words, do you want to plan before you come here, or do you want to plan after you come here? And I'm sure the answer would be, you might want to plan before you come here or before you send your child, right? In which case, if your child is in year 12, talk to us today. Let us sit down with you. Let us help you prepare a career and migration plan for your child to come to Australia or New Zealand, and then we can help you. I hope I have answered your question, Krishna Jain. Thank you. Now, one other thing about this foundation program is that although this foundation program gives guaranteed admission to these 3 universities, what if you change your idea after completing your foundation program? You may say that, well, look, New Zealand has 5 other universities. There are other courses available. Can I go to another course? Of course you can. But the only difference is that you will not have a guaranteed admission. You have to apply again. That's all. And you will get accepted. So if you score really well in the foundation program, you will get accepted to other universities as well. So you're not closing your door and saying that if I go to Auckland, I must study at Auckland. No. Rarely, students may find another course that may not be there. They may change their mind. So in which case, and if it's still in line with their future career and migration plan, yes, we can arrange admission to other universities if need be. But we help you plan thoroughly, because these 3 universities, or between these 3 universities, we cover all the careers available, all the international careers available, as I said, right from medicine all the way to teaching or engineering or, you name it, animation, perhaps. So yes, we can help to change the course of, change the university, should you wish to, at the end of the 6-month time, if this course is not offered, if a course is not offered at the university. Yes. In other words, the foundation program is recognized by other universities, not only in New Zealand, but also in Australia. But remember, when you apply again to another university, you have to reapply for a visa, you have to reapply. So that kind of, a gray area is there. If you're willing to go through that, we are happy to travel with you. We are happy to support you. But remember, when you apply again to another university, you have to reapply for a visa, you have to reapply. So that kind of, a gray area is there. If you're willing to go through that, we are happy to travel with you. We are happy to support you. But I hope that you will find your dream course and dream careers through these 3 universities if you decide to choose the foundation program. Yeah. So, very good question, Irene. Thank you for asking the question. For the admission exam, yes, there's a fee of $500. Now, let me tell you about the process. I think I should have, thank you for reminding me to share that. See, for the whole process, it will cost about 760 Australian dollars, 760, if I'm right, roughly thereof. 760, $770, Australian dollars, not New Zealand, not US. That is what will cost for the whole preparation, your registration, your orientation, your counseling, career and migration plan, preparation for the admission test, and the mock exams. For the admission test alone, the fee is 500 US dollars. But what we have done is we have arranged a scholarship of $500, 500 US dollars to take the admission test. So if you spend the first half of 770 Australian dollars, which is equivalent to 500 US dollars, you will get the second 500 US dollars absolutely as a scholarship. So everyone gets it, no matter what you score after the exam. You will get an invoice, for example, for the admission test. There will be an invoice of $500, but you don't have to pay for it. It will say that it's covered by, it is covered by a scholarship. So it's a very genuine scholarship. You will get this invoice from the a consortium of these universities. So yes, I hope I have answered your question, Irene, as well. So that opens up more questions for you. So if you have any question, please share it in the comment box, and I'll try and answer them right now. And of course, thank you for listening. And if you're a class 10 student, put your hand up. We would like to help you to be in New Zealand by July so that you can start your dream journey 2 years ahead of the game. So if you're in class 10, if your brother or sister is in class 12, you could both be going to the same university for the same degree in the same year. That's the magic of this opportunity. Yeah. And if you're a parent listening to us, please get back to us. Write to us or message us. I'll be leaving the email address and the phone number for you to get in touch with us. And if you have been invited by one of our wonderful associates from Kenya, India, UAE, or wherever you are from, of the GCC countries, please get back to them, because they will do the hand-holding. They will arrange everything for you, and we'll be with you within the week. In a week's time, we will start the process, and we'll be talking to the parents. So we don't want to talk to the students yet. We want them to study well. We just want them to finish their exams really, really well. So we'll be talking only to the parents. So don't worry about us, anybody disturbing your child, because first of all, they need to get that 80%, isn't it? So we don't want to disturb them, but we will certainly be talking to you as a parent if you're listening to me right now. So if you're a parent, please get in touch with us. We'll be reverting within 24 hours. And yes, we will arrange a time to have a personalized conversation with you. So more questions. If you have any questions, please ask. Any more questions? Right. Well, if you don't have any questions, that's that's really fantastic, phenomenal. But just to just as a reminder, this is an opportunity for you to send your child to some of the top universities in the world without any entrance exam. Now, this is applicable for students in countries like India, for example, where millions of students actually write the joint engineering entrance exam. You could be going to a university ranked way above IITs, for example, in the world globally, without an entrance exam and with a guaranteed admission if you take this pathway, right? I think that would say a lot about the top universities in Kenya, the top universities in GCC countries, in South Asia for that matter. You'll be going to some of the best universities in the world without the hassle of preparing for an entrance exam, fighting it out and all. All you need is your grades. So if you studied well in the last 10 years, if you know your maths, physics, chemistry, and English sufficiently well, you will be in for the 6-month foundation program this year. And 2025, you will commence your dream degree ahead of everyone else. and of course, along with your super seniors. So good luck for your exams. And certainly this should be a Happy New Year to you. So next Happy New Year, and just a small bit. If you go to New Zealand, you get to welcome the next New Year ahead of everybody else, because New Zealand gets the New Year first of all. I think ahead of most of us. Most of the major countries, New Zealand gets the New Year first. Just a small tip. But that's all. Happy New Year to you again. And see you soon again with another episode. Until then, take care. But we will be certainly looking forward to talking to you, the parent. And if you're a student, please make sure that your parent gets in touch with us. Thank you and good luck. Bye-bye.